You won't believe what just happened in the world of sports and entertainment. Deion Sanders, the legendary football coach and former NFL star, shocked everyone when he was spotted holding hands with actress Karrueche Tran. Yes, you heard that right. Coach Prime, at 57, was seen getting cozy with Karrueche, who is 36. Now, a relationship between two famous people isn't exactly unheard of, but this is where it gets interesting. The moment that video hit the internet, social media went crazy. People were asking, is this real? How long has this been going on? And most importantly, what does Deion's ex-wife think about all of this? Now, here's the shocking part. His ex-wife, Carolyn Chambers, not only knew about it, but actually approved of his new relationship. And that's where things took an unexpected turn. Normally, when a famous ex-husband moves on, the drama follows. Fans expect bitterness, side-eye comments, and maybe even a little shade. But Carolyn, she did the exact opposite. Instead of throwing any negativity toward Deion, she actually showed her support in a way that no one saw coming. She took to Instagram and shared a post that hinted at her approval, and it wasn't just any random post. She reposted a statement from Deion himself where he talked about his faith and his strong beliefs. He wrote, "You've got to do it regardless of how you feel or what they think. You're not trying to please man or woman. You're trying to please God." Now, let me tell you, this isn't something we see every day. Usually when an ex-wife comments on her former husband's love life, it's filled with tension, especially when the new woman in the picture is 21 years younger than him. But Carolyn's reaction left everyone speechless. It was almost as if she was telling the world, I support Deion, no matter what. But why? That's the real question here. Was it because she had truly moved on? Or was there something deeper happening behind the scenes? What makes this story different is that Carolyn didn't just quietly support Deion from the sidelines. She actively took a stand in public. This wasn't just about her ex-husband dating someone new. This was about Deion making headlines for something that wasn't related to football, and Carolyn making sure everyone knew she had his back. But here's the craziest part. Insiders revealed that Carolyn had known about Deion and Karrueche for a while, and she wasn't just okay with it. She was happy for him. Now, that raised even more questions. Was this a friendly ex-wife move, or was there another reason she was so supportive? This is where the story takes another twist, because Karrueche Tran wasn't just some random new woman in Deion's life. No, there was a connection between them that most people didn't see coming. And trust me, once you find out how these two actually met, you're going to look at this whole situation in a completely different way. But here's where it gets even crazier. Deion Sanders and Karrueche Tran didn't just randomly cross paths. Their connection actually goes way back, and once you hear how they first met, you'll realize this was no ordinary love story. Destiny took an unexpected turn, and whether this was fate or just a wild coincidence, it's something no one saw coming. So here's the backstory. Before Karrueche was ever linked to Deion, she had already been involved in his world. And not just in any way, she had actually worked with his ex-fiancée, Tracy Edmonds. Yes, the same Tracy Edmonds who was engaged to Deion for almost 5 years after dating him for another 5. The plot just keeps getting thicker, doesn't it? Karrueche first met Deion while working on a production by Tracy, and back then, nobody thought anything of it. She was just a part of a project, doing her thing, while Tracy and Deion were still together. But now, years later, Karrueche is suddenly the woman by Deion's side. That's where people started asking, was there something between them back then, or did their paths cross again purely by chance? And this is where it gets interesting, because not only did Karrueche work with Deion's ex-fiancé, but she also starred in Games People Play, a show that was executive produced by Tracy herself. So let's get this straight. Karrueche was connected to Tracy, who was connected to Deion, and now Karrueche is with Deion. That's not just a coincidence. That's Hollywood's version of 6 degrees of separation. fans started digging even deeper. Some people believe this was just another example of the tight-knit Hollywood dating circles, where everyone somehow ends up in the same relationship mix. But others weren't convinced. They wondered, was there always a spark between Karrueche and Deion, even when he was still engaged to Tracy, or did they truly reconnect only after Deion's engagement ended? That's the million-dollar question. Meanwhile, social media went into a frenzy. Some fans were all for it, saying Deion and Karrueche made an interesting couple. Others weren't so sure. Some even questioned if Karrueche was stepping into a messy situation without realizing it. After all, dating a man who was once engaged to your former boss, that's bound to bring some awkward moments. And let's not forget, Karrueche has already been in the middle of high-profile relationship drama before. Her past with Chris Brown was a headline-making roller coaster. Would this be any different, or was she walking into another storm? But here's the shocking part. Tracy Edmonds has been completely silent about all of this. No posts, no comments, nothing. And that silence, it's making people wonder if there's more to the story than we know. Did she truly move on, or does this new relationship sting just a little? And if she does speak out, will she support Deion the way Carolyn did, or will things take a dramatic turn? One thing is clear. This story isn't just about a new romance. It's about past relationships, unexpected connections, and the kind of Hollywood drama that keeps everyone guessing. And trust me, we're just getting started. Because while Deion and Karrueche's relationship is making waves, there's another angle to this that no one is talking about yet. And once you hear it, everything will start to make sense. But hold on, because this is where things get even more twisted. While Deion and Karrueche's relationship was making headlines, people started looking deeper into the timeline. And guess what? Some details just didn't add up. Now, let's talk about Tracy Edmonds again. Remember, she was engaged to Deion for nearly 5 years before they called it quits. Their split seemed peaceful on the surface, but when you dig a little deeper, you start to wonder, was there more to their breakup than they let on? Because here's the craziest part. Karrueche and Deion's paths crossed while he was still with Tracy. Now, nobody is saying anything shady happened back then, but the internet doesn't let things slide that easily. People started speculating. Was there already a spark between Deion and Karrueche before his engagement ended? See, that's what makes this story different. If Deion and Karrueche had met after his breakup, no one would have questioned it. But the fact that she worked so closely with Tracy while she was with Deion, that raised some serious eyebrows. Some fans even started comparing this to classic Hollywood love triangles, where one relationship quietly fades just as another one begins. Could that be what happened here? And let's not forget Carolyn, Deion's first ex-wife. She supported his new romance, but people started wondering, was that really just about being a good ex, or was there something else at play? Because here's an interesting twist. Carolyn and Tracy were never exactly close. They were both part of Deion's life, but they never seemed to have much of a relationship with each other. So when Carolyn publicly supported Deion's relationship with Karrueche, some people thought, was this just about Deion? Or was this also a subtle way of throwing shade at Tracy? Now, here's where it gets even more interesting. Friends close to Carolyn revealed that she had never been fully on board with Deion and Tracy's engagement in the first place. She always respected Deion's choices, but behind the scenes, there were whispers that she didn't think Tracy was the right fit for him. And now that Deion had moved on to Karrueche, Carolyn was suddenly being extra supportive. Coincidence? Maybe, but some fans think Carolyn's reaction was less about Deion's happiness and more about the fact that he wasn't with Tracy anymore. But here's the shocking part. Tracy still hasn't said a word. No cryptic posts, no subtle shade, nothing. And that silence, it's speaking volumes. Because when a high-profile couple like Tracy and Deion breaks up, people expect at least a little bit of reaction when one of them moves on. But Tracy has stayed completely out of the drama. Now, is that because she genuinely doesn't care? Or is she waiting for the right moment to finally say something? At this point, fans were split. Some believed Deion and Karrueche were just two people who found love at the right time. Others weren't convinced. The timeline, the past connections, and the silent tension between the people involved, there were just too many unanswered questions. And with all this swirling around, one major thing was still hanging in the air. Was this just the beginning of a bigger story? Because while the world was focused on Deion's love life, something else was happening behind the scenes. And when it finally comes to light, it might just change everything. But just when you thought this story couldn't get any crazier, another unexpected twist changed everything. Because while everyone was focused on Deion, Karrueche, and the silent tension with Tracy, a new question started surfacing. Was this relationship actually serious, or was it just a temporary fling? And trust me, the signs were all over the place. See, Deion Sanders is no stranger to being in the spotlight. He's always been a larger-than-life personality, and he knows how to control a narrative. So when he stepped out publicly with Karrueche, people assumed this was something real. But insiders close to the situation started whispering that Deion might not be as committed as people think. According to sources, Deion isn't looking to settle down anytime soon, and that's where things get tricky. Because Karrueche, she's been down this road before. Let's not forget, Karrueche's last high-profile relationship with Chris Brown was nothing short of a roller coaster. She was in a public, messy, on-again, off-again situation that left her drained. After finally breaking free from that chaos, she made it clear she wanted something real, something stable. But Deion, he's in a completely different phase of life. He's 57, he's coaching, he's constantly in the public eye, and let's be honest, he's got options. So the real question became, was Karrueche walking into another situation where she might not end up as the priority? And then something happened that made people even more suspicious. Normally, when a new celebrity couple starts making waves, we see the usual moves, Instagram posts, cute comments, maybe even a red carpet appearance together. But with Deion and Karrueche, nothing. No official confirmation, no lovey-dovey social media moments, nothing that screamed, yes, we're together and serious about it. It was almost as if they wanted people to see them together, but not talk about it too much. And that left fans wondering, was this something real or was it just a moment in time? But here's the craziest part. Some sources claim that Karrueche was having second thoughts. Apparently, she didn't expect the kind of attention and controversy this relationship would bring. Sure, she's dated famous men before, but dating someone like Deion, who has ex-wives, kids, and a whole history of public relationships, was a different level of pressure. And let's not forget, Karrueche has spent years trying to rebrand herself as an actress, moving away from the famous girlfriend label. So now, people were asking, was this relationship really what she wanted, or was she starting to regret stepping into this world? And then came the final twist. Rumors started circulating that Deion wasn't fully committed either. Some insiders claimed that while he liked Karrueche, he wasn't looking for anything serious. Others speculated that Deion might still have lingering feelings for someone else. Could it be Tracy? Could it be another woman entirely? That's what nobody could figure out. But one thing was clear, this situation was far from simple. So now we're left with a relationship that's making headlines, an ex-fiance who's staying completely silent, an ex-wife who seems a little too supportive, and a growing list of unanswered questions. Was Deion really serious about Karrueche? Was Karrueche already reconsidering things? And most importantly, was this love? Or was it just another chapter in Hollywood's never-ending relationship drama? Because let's be real, every major celebrity relationship has a breaking point. And if the rumors are true, Deion and Karrueche's might be coming sooner than anyone expected.